Harimi, harimi, al tirai, harimi, al tirai. Imri le'arei Yehuda, hine Elokeichem. Harimi, harimi, al tirai.
Page 272 in the bilingual edition, and which is the middle of Siman, Kuf Yud Ches, what do you say? Yeah, 118. Or towards the end of Siman 118, Rechaim Freelander Simanim. And what we've been speaking about is evil. We've been talking about evil, and how Hashem makes evil, and that there are really two stages where he has the forces in general and then creates particulars. And now we're going to finish, hopefully, this section here, and talk a little bit more about the interaction between good and evil, and then I think the next section we're going to be talking about man, human beings, how they're made up and what they do. But we're going to finish here talking about good and evil. V'nimtza shebiyosahu yizbarach tofes b'shtei midos ka'achas. When Hashem uses these two midos, these two attributes like one, behester apanim va'aris panim shezacharno yolidu mizeh hanashama v'aguf. We said that all evil and all deficiency comes from Hashem hiding himself. He hides his full glory. That creates deficiencies in the world. And when Hashem shines his countenance, his glory, that is the source of everything good. So we see that Hashem uses both of these attributes, hiding himself and revealing himself. So these attributes of hiding himself and revealing himself are the source for the body and the soul. The soul, which is totally pure, the source is Hashem revealing himself. But the body is Hashem hiding himself, because the body has deficiencies. Right? The body is not totally pure. The body is much less than the soul. And the body has deficiencies which the soul does not have. But don't think, because of this, that the body is evil. We said that evil comes about also from Hashem hiding himself. So don't think just because the body has deficiencies that the body is like pure evil or something. That's not the case. There's different levels. Hashem hides himself, so you could have a little deficiencies, or you could have total deficiencies. Total deficiencies, that's going to be evil, but the body isn't evil. It's less, however, than the soul. But Hashem did want something in the world to exist called evil. And that is the opposite of his completeness. Like we explained, to make real evil, Hashem, so to say, hid himself as much as possible. Totally hid himself. That it was just coming from his hiddenness and not any light at all. Then came about real negative forces in the world, real evil forces, and like destructive angels and whatnot. V'nimtza klal hara asher hu yizbarach heishiv achar yamino mehagas olamo v'hinegeu b'kvedus tokev choshech zisro v'sam b'teva halaz kol hefsedi hatov. So that the whole existence of evil came about because Hashem withheld his positive attributes, his midos of compassion. Halohema kol midos bezdin lahevim mishwar al kol nelam risham. And therefore we have the midos of bezdin. We have the attributes of justice in the world. Why do we need justice? Because once there was evil, people have the opportunity to sin. Now, once people have the opportunity to sin, you need to have justice to punish those who sinned. The anger, however, the anger of Hashem is only for a moment. And for that moment was enough to create these different spiritual beings which punish a person in Gehenna according to the evil that he has done. Now, after that, he says Hashem reversed the process and brought into things particular beings. Sounds like we were just talking about evil in general. Now we're talking about the second stage where Hashem created individual beings. Lo she'is matlu. Now, not that these beings should be destroyed. So these beings, he says, that were created they were created not to be destroyed right away, but eventually they'll be destroyed. He's going to explain. I believe he's talking about humans right now. Now, then Hashem made, right, Hashem made his way that it's going to, right, that this being is going to perfect things, but that it's not going to be destroyed. V'shav v'her panav al ha'olam ha'omed li bara. And he went back, and then he shone his light to the world which he was going to create. So Hashem didn't allow, I think the point here is that Hashem didn't allow evil to just run amok and then destroy everything, but he made it in certain guidelines, because it sounds like if evil could run amok, then everything would just be like destroyed right away. But rather, he created beings that evil has some sort of, that deal with evil. But the point is that then now Hashem, after he created this evil, which sounds like it was only a moment, he went back and shone his light to create the world so that evil was not going to destroy the world, and he actually started beginning to rectify the world. And this being which he created is going to complete that rectification. That being is human beings. Now, he said that it's not going to be destroyed right away, it's going to be destroyed in the future. That's something that we mention after Mashiach comes and after the resurrection of the dead. Our souls are going to purify our bodies so that our bodies are not going to exist in the same form that they're in now. So I think that's what he's talking about. Had Hashem not shown this great light, right? Oh, had Hashem shown his light in its total force, then humanity in the world would have existed forever like it is now. So that's not what Hashem did. He created beings, but not eternal beings. But rather he made beings that are not eternal, which is us, so that through human history we will become rectified, will become greater and greater, and that the world, since Hashem didn't shine his full countenance on the world as it exists now, therefore the world will not exist forever the way it is now, but we're on a path to rectify and destroy evil from the world, and once that happens, then Hashem will recreate the world, and then he'll shine his full light, and that world will exist forever. V'adrabah, on the contrary, harazah shabara, the evil which Hashem created, yavir min ha'olam, yavir min ha'aretz, it'll be destroyed, right? The whole Rosh Hashanah davening is about this, that evil will eventually be destroyed. And that's when the world will reach its perfection. We are partners in perfecting the world. Hashem started it on its path. He created evil, and then created the positive things in the world. But that's not going to last forever. To complete the destruction of evil, we need to do our part, and evil will eventually be destroyed. V'lo od. Furthermore, Ela shiodu hanim tzos kulam ki yetiv lahem gam asher pal va'asav v'yavim harishonim. As it says, Odecha Hashem ki anafta bi. I will give thanks to you even when your anger blazed against me. We already spoke about this earlier. Let's just do one little paragraph because here they make it a new chapter and it looks like it's a new topic. Amran Neshama, says the Neshama, that was the Seichel talking all the time. Please give me a summary of what you have been discussing at length until now. Amran Seichel, Zaklau, this is the rule. Since Hashem wanted to make the world with good and evil, and he wanted to create beings that have both good and evil. What's beings that have both good and evil? That's us, human beings. He made a hashpah. He made a hashpah, a emanation of good, asher b'teva, which is in creation, v'nachkak b'teva hatovahu, and that made good. And then he hid his countenance, he hid his light. And that created all deficiencies, including evil. Now, after he created the evil, then he made the positive again. He went back to the positive hashpah, the positive emanations, and that created existence. Which made human beings which have the combination of good and evil. So it was the second positive hashpah, the second positive emanation, which created man, which is a combination of the good and evil. That's where we find human beings now. And this is where we are now in creation, but eventually human beings as they are now are not going to exist. They're not eternal, but at the end, at the end of days, Hashem will shine a great light forth. V'yaver habitul min hateva, and all of these things that are not eternal will be gone. V'yisharu ha'ishim shleimim v'nitzchim, and then these beings, the human beings, will remain perfect and eternal. And that was a little summary he gives at the end.